How's Bolna doing? Yeah.
No, it's been going great. I think last couple of months we're growing almost uncontrollably.
Did you had any indicators that went right?
So even banks are ready to start automating their calls with voice.
Or any incident that has taught you an important lesson?
If you are speaking a lot, the AI agent needs to still give those yeah type of indicators. Nowadays, we're actually seeing a lot of calls where people don't even ask, "Is this an AI?"
5 years from now in future, do you think we'll be talking to AI as naturally as we type today? So today we have got Maitreya Wagh, who is the co-founder of Bolna.ai, which is disrupting the AI voice industry right now. He's from IIT Delhi and has made hundreds and thousands of AI-powered conversations, and his journey is pure gold. And today we are going to cover that journey on the AIBROS Show right now. So let's hear it from Maitreya. How is he doing?
No, doing great, doing great. Fridays don't mean much in the startup versus a corporate world, but there's always that sense that there'll be less customer calls over the next 2 days. So looking forward to that.
Okay, great. How's Bolna doing? Yeah, like you were caught up with some meetings, and I regularly follow your LinkedIn posts. It's like Bolna is booming these days. Touch wood. So tell us how is it doing?
No, it's been going great. I think last couple of months, 2 3 months is when we've hit the sort of point where we are rising, like we're growing almost
Mm-hmm.
uncontrollably, doubling
Mm-hmm.
in terms of revenue and usage on a monthly basis, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and expecting to do that again in August. So a lot of new customers, a lot of our older customers who were earlier just trying out or just testing out a few things, now they are deciding to go live at large
Mm-hmm.
volumes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so the weeks are pretty busy with working really closely with people
Mm-hmm.
who are using us, and
Mm-hmm.
beyond that, of course, there's always a lot of things that go on in the side, such as tech and marketing and product feature upgradation and all of that.
Mm-hmm. Great. So I'm very excited for this conversation. So let's transfer that excitement to our viewers as well. First, tell us, like, try to picturize us the journey, like from IT Bombay Textile to Bain and Co. and now Bolna, like a bigger platform into the AI space. So how did that transition happen?
Sure. So, yeah, IIT Delhi Textile was with a very clear motive: just get the best college,
Mhm.
whichever branch is possible, and
Uh-huh. Just
um,
get the IIT.
yeah, just get whichever IIT offers.
Okay.
Because I think from that point of time, at least based on our conversations or my conversations with people around me, it was that
Mm-hmm.
computer science, getting into computers is very differentiated. Everyone else, most of them are going to go into a startup or into a consulting type of role. So just try to
Mm-hmm.
maximize the sort of people that you surround yourself with. I think it's probably one of the
Mm-hmm.
best decisions I've made. Um,
Mm-hmm.
didn't really focus much on textile. Focused on building a very strong community of people who
Mm-hmm.
honestly are probably the biggest asset that in these days we can have, right? Like as AI takes over more and more of the tasks that humans can do, it is relationships
Mm-hmm.
that's actually going to be a differentiator going forward. So both IIT and Bain, I think the sort of communities that have been built, the sort of network that I have, and which is still very connected, which is still very closely knit, absolutely crucial in every step of the journey, especially in the in starting up as well. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I think after IIT Delhi got into Bain, I like consulting. I did an internship with a different consulting firm and thought that it's a great place to start. It's a great place to meet um,
Mm-hmm.
extremely smart people, be a part of conversations with the who's who in the industry, in business tycoons at such a young age, and
Mm-hmm.
a great place to really understand how to solve a problem, right, in a very analytical
Mm-hmm.
way. So I did Bain for one and
Mm-hmm.
a half year. Loved it, but always felt that I want more ownership. I want to sort of really be on the ground doing things. So I
Uh-huh.
joined a startup called Probo
Okay.
for a couple of years, based in Gurgaon. A very interesting
Mm-hmm.
startup. It's in the opinion trading. So
Okay.
वहाँ पे learned what is a startup, how does it work, what are the bare basics you have to do. What does growth mean? What does revenue mean? What does product mean?
Mm-hmm.
And understood all of that and decided, chalo, let's jump into it.
Mm-hmm.
So we started Bolna around 1.5 year back. The starting vision was very simple. Chatbots everyone is using. Similarly, voice is a more natural form of conversation, and in the
Right.
future we will see a $22 billion industry of phone calling
Hmm.
almost completely transformed into voice AI conversations. And this is going to happen as models get more and more realistic and cheaper, which they currently are getting. So that was
Hmm.
how we started off Bolna. I think we wandered a bit in our journey. We focused on some verticals, we focused on front desk, we focused on recruitment, got great customers, got great sort of traction in all of this as well. But
Hmm.
always kept understanding that the real differentiator that we were providing is not the application but the
Hmm.
orchestration on top of which
Hmm.
people build their own applications, right? So whatever we were focusing on building, the demand was
Hmm.
still coming on. Hey, you know what, we can build all of this, but the voice AI is not working, the call is not happening, we're not able to get less than 1 second latency. And we realized
Hmm.
that if people are asking us for this, that's what we should double down on. So ever since we doubled down on that in like April or May, that's when the growth started exploding. And
Hmm.
yeah, we're working with some of the most interesting consumer companies in India, right from some edtech companies like Vedantu and Physicswala to
Hmm.
recruitment firms such as Avigna, and also a lot of
Hmm.
B2B companies who are using Bolna to build voice AI agents for a variety of use cases. Go Quick is one, Footwork is one. So a lot of
Hmm.
exciting things going on. And yeah, that's probably a very quick snapshot.
Interesting, very interesting. So, Bolna is everywhere right now, as I can see, and kudos to you and Pratik who are working really hard behind it and making this work, right? So, let's take it this way. So, in few words, can you explain to our audience what exactly Bolna is? Is it an AI voice orchestration platform, or what is it? And then the next question that I have is, did you get any benefit out of using an Hindi word as your company? Like, because Bolna is a Hindi word, so did you had any purpose behind that using Bolna?
Sure. So to answer the first question, what we are is essentially, let's say, your business would probably be doing a lot of outbound and inbound calls, or be relying
Hmm.
on an archaic system like IVR or pre-recorded messages to sort of get
Hmm.
these communications done.
Hmm.
What we believe is in the future, this will be transformed with voice AI agents. Voice AI agents are they're like they sound and talk the way exactly the way humans do, and are
Hmm.
sometimes even more intelligent than humans. They are
Hmm.
very scalable, they are cost effective, they are super intelligent, they can do a lot of tasks much quicker than we can. And this automation
Hmm.
is going to happen.
Hmm.
It's already happening, it's going to keep increasing in what's happening.
Hmm.
When you when you have to build this super intelligent voice AI agent, there are two things that you need to take care of. One is how intelligent it is in understanding your calls and doing calls like you, and the
Hmm.
second is can it talk well. So we handle the second
Okay.
part. We have created a platform in which you can handle how well your agent understands your company, because that's what you know best. But you don't have to
Hmm.
worry about whether the agent will respond in the right voice, whether the agent will respond quickly, whether interruptions will be handled. If I'm calling someone in Chennai, that agent needs to understand Tamil, but that same call in Delhi, I'm more focused on the on having a slightly more North Indian accent, right? Or if
Hmm.
I'm doing a sales call, then the accent and the speed of conversation needs to be much quicker. But for a recruitment call, it doesn't matter if I take 3 seconds to respond. I should give a very smart, thoughtful response of what the student has said. So
Hmm.
we sort of are the orchestration which sort of enables you to have all of these different type of conversations without having to do expensive migrations, without having to do expensive deployments. You just use Bolna, and you never have to worry about voice AI working again.
Okay. Great. Great.
And
So
why
this was
Bolna?
Bolna. Yeah.
Why the name? So thought process is very simple. The India is probably the most number of calls happen from India. India routes
Hmm.
the highest number of calls on a daily basis. Secondly, India is a very phone first, vocal first
Hmm.
country, right? Texting, of course, is
Hmm.
very new, very modern, but we traditionally tend to speak out whatever we want, right? In terms of customer complaints or sales or anything.
Hmm.
Voice first is
Hmm.
always what we prefer. And
Hmm.
finally, and that's what we wanted to be, right? Bolna essentially means that it's a voice AI for India, right? And I think giving it an Indian name does it solves the elevator pitch for us. What is Bolna?
Okay.
Voice AI Indian, simple.
Okay.
But secondly, it's a very nice, interesting conversation starter when we're pitching to American clients as well, because they call it Bolna
Hmm.
or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, they ask what it means, we tell them what it means, and it's always a good way
Okay.
to start, a good way for an icebreaker.
Hmm. Interesting. Did you had and like something in mind when you were deciding the name that it should target the Indian audience or it should benefit the Indian audience out, right?
Yes, definitely. It was always
Oh,
going
okay.
to be India first. We are not only focused on India, we're of course a global company,
Yeah,
but there
definitely.
is a specific India focus which other companies in like AI space, voice AI generally do not really have.
Hmm. Interesting. So, as I was skimming through the site of Bolna, right, I found that you provide with recruitment and interview conversations more. You are focused more on that side, and I believe you started in that fashion, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So, why this industry? Why this industry?
Yeah, so I think the learnings that we had was, sure, you have an orchestration that people are using to build
Hmm.
agents on their own, and the
Yeah.
orchestration probably gets you 50% or 60% ready in order to build an
Okay.
agent. Now, there are
Hmm.
some companies which are ready to put in the effort to bridge that 100%. There are some companies which require Bolna to put in effort to bridge that 100%. The
Hmm.
hunch there was, can we create a productized version where we've already reached 80% market readiness, which means it's not just the infra, it's also an agent which has been trained on thousands and thousands of similar types of calls. It's
Hmm.
not just the infra and the agent, it's also a specified analytics layer that analyzes key concepts out of every call and gives them back to you. It's
Hmm.
also a workflow that automatically triggers a second call with the second agent based on the response of the first agent. And
Hmm.
as a try, we can't do this for every industry right away. We decided that let's try
Hmm.
this out in recruitment and see how it where it gets us. The goal in the
Hmm.
future is, of course, to have this level of easy customization available across lead qualification and real estate and healthcare and BFSI. But for recruitment is how we started, primarily because the recruitment speed of voice AI growing, like the pace at which voice AI grew in recruitment was quicker than other industries, primarily because there was a very high intent for the conversation to happen. The candidate
Right.
wants to talk to the AI to get the call done. So even when the text to speech
Hmm.
wasn't perfect and people were
Hmm.
hating the fact that there are voice AI sales calls, they were loving the fact that there are voice AI recruitment calls. It was a very big
Okay.
problem, very clear solve that voice AI was doing. That's why we sort of jumped into there. Still, two of
Hmm.
our largest clients are recruitment firms, but
Hmm.
yeah, but we're actively seeing other industries scale even quicker now.
Hmm. Okay. So you do plan to scale in different industries, right? Because people out there with Bolna, they are building for different industries, and they are
Yes.
getting great results. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So purely
Hmm.
horizontal orchestration play. Happy to
Hmm.
help. Happy to help in whichever way possible. And then when I say whichever way, it could mean here are the APIs. Do what you want with them. Let us know if you need help. To more of a
Hmm.
forward deployed, where okay, let's sit together. Let's understand your business. Let's build an agent. Let's build a workflow, and let's go live with you.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. So, as you told that you made a very quick entry into this market, right? I guess Bolna started in 2023, I believe, right?
23 December, 24 Jan. Yeah.
December. Yeah. So that was the era where AI was evolving. It was still at the infant age at that point, right? But you made an early market entry. Okay. So did you had any indicators or did you have any intuition that went right when it was about AI voice agents and something like that?
Yes, I think a lot of intuitions that went right, lot of intuitions that went wrong as well. The intuition that went I would say that did not go right was the pace at which voice AI would adopt it. It's going much faster than we expected, right?
Okay.
We did not expect we'll be already in a place. 1 year ago, no one knew what voice AI was. 1.5 year ago, people were like, "Ha, this is a predefined message that will come on the call. It's not a natural
Right.
conversing agent." And
Right.
today, even enterprises, even banks are ready to start automating their calls with voice AI. So the speed at which this is increasing has been something unexpected by us, but in a very good way. It was a very good surprise how quickly things are
Mm-hmm.
growing. On the
Mm-hmm.
other side, one intuition that we did have, and which is coming true, is last year when we were talking to a lot of Indian clients, we were offering our voice AI agents at around 7 rupees, 8 rupees, 9 rupees a minute. And they were
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, this is not feasible, it's too expensive, cannot do it and all. But we always
Mm-hmm.
thought that there is going to be a time when this can come down to 4.5 rupees while still maintaining a healthy margin. And that's sort of where we
Mm-hmm.
are right now, right? Given as we
Mm-hmm.
started scaling and we could get good discounts from our models, the models became cheaper. We started involving things such as caching and our own models to make things even cheaper. We can now give at a price which is desired by these enterprises. So
Mm-hmm.
that was, I think, a lot of people fell back then when they were like, "Hey, India mein chalega hi nahi." But
Mm-hmm.
actually, you can see that it is working now. There's a very active demand that's going on right now.
You guys made it. Like you guys made it to work in India, right? Like the kind of construction that you guys did. Interesting. So, like as an entrepreneur, I would like to ask this question to you. Since you identified a calculated indicator or a hype in the market, and you jumped into it and you made Bolna AI, and it is doing great right now. Tell
Hmm.
me, how can an entrepreneur identify such big hype into the market? Is there any method, or how can they get that intuition right?
I think you have to just talk to people, right? That's by
Mm-hmm.
far what has always helped us throughout this journey.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes back to my original thought of how important network and community and your friends and relationships are.
Mm-hmm.
Is everything from the first idea that which was, see, Pratik has a friend in a company called Apna, which is a recruitment firm, and they were one of the first who were like, "Yeah, I would love it if an AI recruiter replaced a lot of the interviews that we are doing right now."
Mm-hmm.
From there to talking to some people who are my friends, such as Line Chat, Nikhil, who has been building very deeply in chatbots and noticing
Mm-hmm.
that his customers are now demanding voice AI as well.
Mm-hmm.
These are ways in which you get signs. When you talk to people who are very much into the market, you can talk to thousands of people through them and hear what
Huh.
thousands of people are saying through these kind of guys. So I think just put yourself out there, be active on
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn, Twitter, see what's going on. don't feel free to don't feel afraid to start conversations with even someone who you've never spoken to but you're connected to on LinkedIn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number of people have just sent ki, hey, you seem to be doing something very exciting, would love to have a chat. And they've actually
Mm-hmm.
had a chat, and I've learned so much from that conversation, both about what to do and what not to do. Say what not to do is
Mm-hmm.
also very, very important conversation that I've saved a lot of time wasted in. I would say that's how a lot of these things you can actually understand.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the one. And then if I had to go very, this is what I said was maybe more philosophical. If I had to go on complete actionables, get ideas about what is being built, right? Product hunt is one play ways. The YC page is the other way. Just being on
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn is another way, where you'll keep
Mm-hmm.
understanding that, hey, these are the new companies that people are building. How are people commenting? How are people reacting to it? You don't want to
Mm-hmm.
copy the company, but that itself will give you a lot of ideas onto what all, you'll see a company like, hey, why aren't you doing it in this way? And then you realize, okay, no one's doing it in this way, let's do it, right? That's sort of how you would do it. And that's, I think we had a journey in that as well. So there's a company called Aircall, which
Okay.
one of
Yeah.
the first voice AI companies, even before we existed. We saw
Wow.
Aircall and we're like, okay, this is impossible to use, and this is too slow, because what they are doing is they're waiting for the speech to text to finish, and then they are calling the LLM. So we were like, why don't we create a way in which before the speech to text finishes, the LLM gets called for the first half of the message?
Hmm.
Can we half the latency with that? And we could. So those were like, okay, air is good, people are liking it, we're going to make something better, people will like us more. Very simple first principle.
Hmm.
That's sort of what worked.
Interesting. So, since we were talking about having a conversation with people out there in the market, and I've seen that you have many, like you usually share on your LinkedIn many of your customer reviews, and probably you might have many customer reviews when it comes to Bolna, right? Uh, Tell me, what are you hearing most about Bolna from your happy customers? Is it about the accuracy? Are they talking about speed, the cost saving, or what is it?
I think the biggest thing is just customer service, right? The biggest thing
Hmm.
that people are happy with us, and they've used a lot of competitors, Indian and American, is how
Hmm.
closely we work with our customers. How we have people who even at 1 a.m. are happy to help with their agents, help with their deployments, and help with them going live. So that's
Hmm.
definitely a differentiator we are hearing upfront, which is always a great thing to hear from our customers.
Hmm. Hmm.
Beyond that, one product differentiator we have which no one else has is a focus on self-serve. So that doesn't
Okay.
mean that you will start doing 100,000 minutes on Bolna without speaking to us, but it does mean that you, for example, could discover and use Bolna without having to have a long demo call and a lot of calls with the founders. Most other
Hmm.
companies, most other voice AI agents out there require these level of booking a calls, waiting for someone to talk to you, waiting for someone to give
Right.
you access and all. उतने टाइम में
Hmm.
if we can give someone a real experience of what building and talking to a voice AI agent sounds like, we have an edge, and that's really been helping working for us. So even though I wouldn't say our no code self serve tool brings in a lot of revenue, I would say less than
Hmm.
30% revenue comes directly from there. The remaining comes from contracts and APIs and all of that.
Okay.
It probably
Hmm.
brings in 80% of customers, which 1 month later become our larger ones, right? So it's a great GTM lever that we're using, that we're seeing through there.
Hmm. Okay. So it's more like the experience that you that people are getting out there
Yeah,
before even going into con into a sales call, you can say, and they are able to identify how the voice agent would talk when it is built with Bolna AI, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just had this quick question in my mind. So since you talked to a lot of customers and you had a lot of experience into this with regards to Bolna, uh, have you encountered any moment or any incident that has taught you an important lesson, about how humans behave with AI voice agents, or about, like, it has told you something very crazy about human psychology?
Okay. Very crazy to nahi, but I'll tell you one of our. I can share some crazy things also, but I'll tell you the first insight,
Hmm.
which we started off with. So you
Hmm.
always think that you will speak, then I will speak, and then you will speak again. Right? That's how conversations
Yeah.
work. But you are
Hmm.
saying and yeah, and I'm not stopping. That
Hmm.
level of nuance has to be taught. It's unnatural to humans, but
Yeah.
AI agents need to know what is an interruption and what is a way in which they're allowing to let the other person speak. Similarly, if you are speaking a lot, the AI agent needs to still give those yeah type of indicators so that the
Hmm.
conversation happens smoothly. So
Okay.
this was like one of the first things that we built, right? And that really helped us stand out in the starting days because no one else had built that. Everyone else was focused on low latency and all. The point was if it's low latency, but for every and yeah, the AI is pausing and replying, you've ruined the call, right? So I think that was like a
Yeah.
nice we got very early in our days. Talking about crazy insights that we're getting right now, definitely having the first name of the person being called out in the first sentence would be a almost double sort of conversion rates, simply because there is a level of personalization that otherwise is not there. Another big one
Hmm.
would be that nowadays we're actually seeing a lot of calls where people don't even ask, is this an AI? Like we've seen whole campaigns of tens of thousands of calls where not a single person has asked, is this an AI or is this a human? They've just done the calls. Either they
Hmm.
didn't realize or they didn't care. Both are great for us because like the call happened successfully, right? So,
Yeah.
and I would actually prefer that we are moving into a situation where where people are noticing it's an AI, but they are not caring, because that really means that we're not deceiving people. We're just ready to really go.
Hmm. So ultimately the job is done. People don't care about who they are talking to. If they feel it's natural, and if their task is getting done, it's the ultimate success, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So share some insights or some learnings that you have like some understanding that you have built while building this sustainable AI business, like throughout your journey, what you have learned. If you would like to, frame it in 2 to 3 lines or 3 to 4 lines for every entrepreneur to listen out there, what would it be?
Be very close to customers, right? Do
Okay.
not care like product, VC, everything is completely secondary if you
Mhm.
don't have customers. Like if you have customers who like you, who are willing to pay for your services, and you are solving a real problem for them, the product will get built in the process. Your VCs will come in the process. Your revenue will start increasing in the process, right? And we made this mistake a lot, focusing on spending time deciding what is the right pricing, what are the different
Mhm.
models we want, what are the different product features that we want to create. I would say almost 30% of the product features we created, no one used, and we actually stopped even building them. We removed them from the platform. Right? And that's a mistake that we always, founders always do, is that,
Mhm.
they have something in their mind that, what, I want to make this and people are going to love it, and they make it, but no one really uses it, right? So I think 100% of your focus, or at least if you're the CEO, your focus should only be on, are my customers enjoying the process, and do they want to pay for it? Do they think it's solving a problem that is worth paying for? If that is
Mhm.
happening, the rest will fall into place. And I think we've started this outlook for the last 2 months, and we've seen the difference that it's creating both in the team's environment and the enthusiasm that we have for work. Another thing is every engineer is linked to customers, by the way, in Bolna. There's
Mhm.
not a single
Yeah.
engineer whose task is only to build, to write code. Everyone at least has two customers who they do reach out to on a bi-weekly basis at least, to sort of work with. And that's
Mhm.
like a rule of thumb that we continue to go by, right? Because only then you
Mhm.
understand why you're building things. When you see a customer,
Mhm.
be like, wow, what a feature. Otherwise it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, interesting. The engineer part was very interesting, where you have a close eye over your customers, and you have assigned at least two customers to one engineer, because that is very important. Because sometimes you get a very wonderful feedback from your customers, which when you inculcate into your platform, it gives you a big boost out there, because it can be a problem for thousands, and it is getting solved through Bolna. That's a
Yeah.
great thumb rule that you have made at Bolna. So, okay. So, I just want to know if there is some myth around voice agents that you wish more people could understand, or is there anything that you want a larger audience to uh, understand or realize about voice agents?
Hmm. I think one thing which always comes up is, hey, humans are 5 rupees a minute. If we get someone, voice AI is not really that much better. Should we really bother to switch or not? And these sort of arguments make sense, but don't really, I mean, they don't make mathematical sense, right? And I get that the argument is there. We want to augment overall human efficiency. We don't want to replace humans. We don't think that is the case. We just think there
Mm-hmm.
are a lot of routine use cases where voice AI can help make a company more efficient. But at the end of the day, when you're comparing AI with humans, it's not just a per minute thing, right? Because if you think
Mm-hmm.
about the amount of time in hiring, in onboarding, in training, the amount of effort it takes to scale from 1,000 to 10,000 calls, and the amount of loss if you don't do 10,000 calls but you do only 1,000 calls, are things that are not really considered when making this sort of judgment. That would be one. The second
Mm-hmm.
one would sort of be in, and this is automatically changing, is that, oh my
Mm-hmm.
god, what if a customer realizes it's a voice AI, right? I don't think this fear is really there, and the biggest reason for that, about that, is ki, देखो, your top customer who you are going to reach out to, they are,
Mm-hmm.
and this differs from industry to industry, of course, but what your
Yeah.
top customers want is a person who they can converse with, right? Is someone who can answer their questions, who can solve things for them. If it's a
Mm-hmm.
recruitment they need someone who can tell them everything about the company. If it is customer service, they need someone who has a deep understanding about what my history with your company has been and how can you help me in the best way. If it's physics
Mm-hmm.
wala ka outreach agent, it's about this particular course, how it's going to benefit me.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation is happening properly. People don't care if it's a voice AI or it's a human. People just really don't care, right? If you are
Mm-hmm.
selling them credit cards, people still don't care. They will just cut the call. Human ho, voice AI ho, kuch bhi ho, right?
Correct.
And
Correct.
so that's sort of another thing that I think people are starting to understand now, right? We don't really get that question as much today as we did 6 months earlier, but yeah, so we're sort of moving in that direction where the adoption is happening more naturally. And another thing I would like to tell, not about voice AI, but just given to everyone listening to this show, learn how to prompt, right? Prompting
Okay.
is the future. Prompting can solve all of your life problems. At least in the startup world. Uh,
Interesting.
and I myself never code. I've not coded myself much. But even many engineers in our team, not engineers, but many like sales folks and marketing people don't really code in our team. But from day one, we are very clear that you have to be the best at prompting
Okay.
because our customers won't be, right? And
Yeah.
then if the prompt is not good, if you've not taught the agent well, the agent will not
Mm-hmm.
perform well. That's the end of the thing,
Point.
right? And you can always
Point.
teach the agent better. There is no
Mm-hmm.
end goal to it. You can always be better at it, so get better.
Mm-hmm.
It is literally the skill for the future.
Interesting, interesting. So the prompting is really important these days over I place it this way. I believe coding and prompting are two equal skills that has to be learned by any individual if they're into tech industry, but focus more on prompting because through prompting you have an AI assistant, or let's say an assistant beside you, who is far more knowledgeable than you, so it can help you in crazy level ways, right? It can help
Exactly.
you debug the code, refactor everything.
Exactly. I think there is a level of understanding that you need now. The more you
Hmm.
understand tech, the more you understand the language, the more you understand the way a particular function or a particular tool works,
Hmm.
the better for you. But the reason it's better for
Hmm.
you is easier for you to tell an AI how to use it versus you
Yeah,
having to use it yourself, right? So that's if
exactly.
you don't know SQL versus if someone knows SQL, both of them will ask ChatGPT the same thing, but the person who knows
Point.
SQL will be able to get the job done in 1/10 of the time. If a third person
Hmm.
is writing SQL themselves, they'll be slower than both of these.
Right.
So you have to be the person who understands tech and knows how to train and teach AI agents to also to sort of do the work.
Hmm. Interesting. So, okay. So last question of this conversation because we are running short of time.
Awesome.
So, tell me, by let's take an example of 2030. So I'm talking about like 5 years from now in future. uh, do you think we'll be talking to AI as naturally as we type today, because most of the AI platforms are prompt based? So, or we'll be having some kind of a mixture of voices and visuals and other ways to interact out there?
No, I think definitely see visual. There are different use cases for different things. If you are shopping for
Hmm.
clothes, the visual aspect is the most important. If you
Correct.
are discussing something which is very textual about your phone, your addresses, or the specifics of a particular, specifics of a particular recipe or specifics of a particular product description, you always want that in
Hmm.
text. But
Hmm.
everything that is quick and conversational, there will be a voice layer that we are extremely accustomed to talking to, right? Like
Hmm.
a simple example is Google Maps, right? Google Maps is one of the one places which has been talking to us for the last 10 years because it's
Right.
extremely quick conversational. Hey, you need to turn right? That has to be a voice. I don't want it as a text. I have the image, but it's the voice that really triggers me to turn right. And
Yeah.
there are thousands of certain such things which we cannot use voice AI for, which we people have started using voice AI for,
Hmm.
and will continue to do
Hmm.
so. So I think that's definitely how I think things are going to change. However, as you know, as more and more hardware, more and more robotics, and even AR, VR become more and more real, that is another place where talking and speaking to AI will become more relevant, right? Because it will change the way we
Mm,
interface. Like, do we really need to keep chatting? It's not the most efficient form of conversation. It doesn't convey
mm,
emotions. It's slower. It requires both hands and your eyes. It's like the most least energy efficient thing to do. Will we really
mhm.
be doing that 5 years from now? Definitely not for as much as we do it as we use it today.
Hmm. So the crux is definitely we are going to use AI, but there are going to be various methods out there, not just one, but there can be a mix of two methods or three methods out there to converse with AI, and it is definitely going to be very interesting when we are going to converse with AI in that fashion, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So this was it for my side, and thank you so much for being on the AI Bro Show, and thank you so much for this value-packed conversation that we have had.
Amazing.
This conversation was really interesting, and I personally learned a lot from this conversation. And any last words before we wrap up the conversation for our audience who's watching this podcast?
I think just there's a lot you can do if you leverage AI tools correctly. There is a lot. You don't need any education or degrees or courses in order to do that. Everything is available on ChatGPT. So I mean, I think just get your hands dirty and do it, right? And if in
Mhm.
that includes voice, then use Bolna to get it.
Definitely do check out Bolna AI, and the link is definitely going to be in the description. I'll also put the LinkedIn IDs of Prateek and Maitreya in the description. So if you have any any queries or any feedbacks related Bolna, you can definitely ping them out. They're very super interactive at LinkedIn as far as I have seen. And until next time, keep building and keep creating. Thank you so much.